for the land of the free.
And an inspired rendition of our national anthem. Really getting warmed up here, just moments away. We'll be back right after this.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome, 2K Sports fans. We've got the Dallas Mavericks against the Memphis Grizzlies. Last outing for Memphis, they ended up with a win against Brooklyn. A terrific underdog win in that last game. They're feeling good, looking to keep it up tonight. And late in the season, here's some teams definitely not making the playoffs. Kenny, what do they have left to play for?
The fans. These people come out every night and support their team. They love their players, so you have to just go out there and you have to perform well for them.
And you're also auditioning players, trying to figure out which of them would be on the roster next year. So
True.
Everybody has to audition.
That'll do it. Both teams ready to tip. Let's send it to Kevin Harlan and crew.
We welcome you to Noche NBA here on 2K Sports. From the attire to the food, the players' jerseys, tonight a celebration of the Latin culture. Let's quickly take a look at the standings out west. The season nearly complete. Take a look at the Mavericks. They've continued to play strong basketball, if not utterly dominant, as the last part of the season grinds toward the playoffs. And it looks like, guys, they'll hold on to that #1 spot the whole way there. And, of course, Memphis. They're much further down in the standings right now.
And for the Grizzlies, one thing they don't have to worry about is not having enough free time this summer, because they're not going anywhere near the postseason.
And there will be players on the move once this season is over. You can count on that. They have to make wholesale changes, and the front office knows it.
And the starting group for the Grizzlies. Morant and Brooks manning the backcourt. Jackson and Valanciunas, they're in the middle. And it's Iguodala in at the 3 slot. And for Dallas, Doncic and Porzingis, the incredible forward pair. Tim Hardaway Jr. out there with Jalen Brunson. And it's Marjanovic in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Shot clock at 6. Iguodala, the pass to Morant. Off target from outside. The Grizzlies' coaching search took 2 months. They finally settled on Taylor Jenkins, a former assistant coach with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Jenkins, with an economics degree from Penn, fits the young academic profile of this Memphis front office. Worked for the Spurs 6 years as an assistant under Mike Budenholzer, who was the coach of the year in 2019. That pedigree helped him get the job. And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
We call that a great contest. You know this is something he brings to the table, the ability to anchor your defense.
Just over a minute and a half played here in this one. And the rejection by Marjanovic.
You know, when you drive the lane, you have to know where Porzingis is, because with his reach, he can sneak up and send that shot away anytime.
Great teamwork, punctuated by a strong finish.
Going right to the rim, which is where you want transition opportunities to end.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
And this kid, Ja Morant, came out of nowhere, under-recruited in high school, showed some promise in that first year of college, but boy, did he blow up.
And Morant really impacts the game in every area.
It's incredible, Kevin. He gives you the points, the assists, the rebounds, but then you look at the box score and you also see a block, a couple steals. And I like that he shoots a high percentage at the line.
First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. And there's the foul. It's on Jalen Brunson. That's his first foul. A different look for Dallas. Maxi Kleber, he's checked in for Marjanovic. Lee comes in for Tim Hardaway Jr. And Barea subbed in for Jalen Brunson. Jackson, he's checked in for Memphis. Memphis moving that ball around from deep three-point range. And it's out of bounds. The Grizzlies able to retain possession here. And let's check out a breakdown, looking at some stats for Jackson.
And his three-point shooting has gotten a lot better over his last 10 games. He looks so much more comfortable from beyond. There's no doubt he's got the green light to let it fly whenever the shot's there for him.
How about the inbound pass there? Easy bucket.
And it's Barea with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Dallas Mavericks. Doncic passes to Kleba, and he jams it with authority.
What a pass by Luka Doncic. He's got tremendous size, and obviously they want the ball in his hands.
Morant with it, out guarded by Porzingis. Jackson has the open look, and a miss there on the triple. The Mavericks have gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. And the dunk by Porzingis.
Wow, that's the mobility of Porzingis, gliding in for the finish.
Just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Coach Taylor Jenkins gave me a few minutes to catch up. He knows one key will be slowing down the big Latvian, 7'3" Kristaps Porzingis, who possesses that unprecedented combination of size and ball skills. So they'll try to be physical and try to keep him bottled up as much as possible. Kevin?
Thanks so much, David. So timeout called here. The first for Memphis. They're coming off that win against the Nets.
Mental toughness on the road. The arena was rocking, but they just got down to business and never let up.
I thought what really stood out was how dominant they were on the offensive end. That was about as flawless as you could hope for.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Powell, he's checked in for Porzingis. Dorian Finney-Smith comes in for Luka Doncic. Ryan Brokoff's checked in for Lee. And it's Wright in for J.J. Barea. Poked loose. Outside Jackson. Just 5 to shoot. And the foul on Dorian Finney-Smith. That is his first foul of the game. Clark, he's checked in for the Grizzlies. That's tipped. Wright with the double team. Pass to Allen. Jacks up a 3. Drills it from outside.
And guys, we talk all the time about making the extra pass. Clark there proving how important that concept is.
And the rejection by Mahimi. The Grizzlies trail by 3. Morant with it. Now Wright defending. Here's Morant. A 23-point game for him in the win against the Nets in Brooklyn.
And if you look at his free throw numbers, you can see what kind of pressure he put on the defense. He was in attack mode all night long. And well, that's why they're in front. Aggressive play at both ends. Nicely done.
Rab, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
And folks, he did not luck into that one. He knew just where he wanted to be to grab that backboard.
A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. It's Dallas up by 3. And the second quarter about to get started. We'll be back in just a moment. And we return to the second quarter, and Noche Latina specialized jerseys on display. Welcome back, everyone. And guys, what's your take on the Mavericks so far?
Yeah, in that first period, they looked to push in transition at every opportunity.
And why wouldn't they, Greg? You see their effectiveness in the open floor. Very difficult to slow down.
So on the floor to begin things for Memphis here in the second quarter. Morant and Allen at the guard spots. Rab is out there with Clark, and it's Mahimi in at the 5 down low. Of course, when you watch the game now, Biggs playing on the perimeter. Who can really defend and hold their own outside the lane you've seen?
Well, you think about a guy at the rim like Clint Capella, who is a great shot-blocking force. But in today's NBA, he's got to be able to guard the pick and roll, make the necessary switch. And because Capella has got great feet and because he can move laterally so quickly, he might be 6'10", 6'11", but he can get out and switch in the pick and roll. It is a thing of beauty to watch.
Here's Finney-Smith.
And unfortunately, we've seen a few too many of those. A lack of concentration, a turnover, and an easy bucket in transition.
Morant kicks to Mahimi. And that's a foul called on Dwight Powell. That's his first foul. Tim Hardaway Jr. is checked in for Dallas. The Grizzlies also making a change. Iguodala's checked in. And the foul called on Tim Hardaway Jr. That's his first foul. Here in the second quarter with a little over a minute gone.
And still early in the period, and they're only one foul away from being over the limit.
Here's Allen. Tries to keep it alive. And Prokop pulls it down. Dallas leading by 9. Powell dishes to Hardaway. And it's blocked.
Well, this is where measurements don't tell the whole story. Clark is a tremendous shot blocker despite having an average wingspan.
Here's Curry. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Now the pass to Powell. Inside. Outside Hardaway. Shoots from 8. It's rebounded by Memphis. A live body off the bench. Dwight Powell gives you productive minutes.
He does, Kevin, and that's most reflected in the plus-minus when you look at his stats. This is a guy who hasn't averaged a ton of minutes, but he scores and he defends at a high level when he's given those minutes.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. They defeated the Pelicans in their last game.
Yeah, and that one, unbelievable shooting display, especially from long range. That turned out to be the difference.
Well, and I think what that was a product of was their movement off the basketball. Just tremendous work on the perimeter.
And it's a completely new group on the floor for the Mavericks. So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Valanciunas, he's checked in for Mahinmi. Jaren Jackson comes in for Rab. Jackson, he's checked in for Clark. And it's Dylan Brooks in for Grayson Allen.
There is so much to love about Kristaps Porzingis. Over 7 feet, sweet shooting jumper, but aggression. This guy will back down from no one.
Here's Brooks. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. It's on Porzingis. And Doris, Porzingis not only quick to adapt to the NBA game, but also the culture.
I think it helps, Kevin, that he got tutored in the English language starting in grade school. And think about it, Kevin. This man wore his hair in cornrows back then, emulating the NBA players he saw. So both linguistically, culturally, and basketball-wise, it wasn't too big an adjustment for him.
The Grizzlies trail by 6. Here's Brooks. It's deflected.
Doncic known for his offense, but twice on the pipe. Send it back, young sir.
Porzingis, and he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. There's the call. Memphis gets the foul.
Well, with Kristaps Porzingis, you love not only the skill, but the passion he plays with. You would never use the descriptor passive with this guy.
And with Porzingis, as Doris, you mentioned, that energy he has is contagious.
Well, he is the prototypical modern NBA big, right? Porzingis can run the floor in transition. He can face up and shoot with range. He can put it on the deck, and he can play out of the post. What more could you ask?
The Grizzlies shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
Well, all good things must come to an end. Iguodala was shipped out from the Warriors last year to clear room for D'Angelo Russell. Traded to the Grizzlies to make room for the Warriors in the Russell deal. Ultimately, I think we'll have a great legacy for his time with Golden State.
1:51 left in the first half. Out to Brooks. Passes to Valanciunas. Shot clock at 5. Iguodala, no good.
And you know, you can't impact a shot that close any better than he did on that possession.
Boy, whether he blocks it or simply alters it, the result is pretty much the same.
And this is what the schedule looks like coming up for Memphis. On Saturday, the Atlanta Hawks coming to town. That will tip off a homestand for them. Then on Tuesday, they'll defend home court against the Orlando Magic.
And for the matchup with the Jazz,
They have that date circled. They love to compete, and they feel they can play very well against that group if they can execute.
The Grizzlies making a switch here. Morant's checked in.
Second chance points always hurt. Just not enough effort to block out.
No doubt those extra possessions can really add up against you when you do not take care of the defensive glass.
Porzingis with the block. They retain possession. Jackson, the jumper's good from inside 6 feet. And now it's only a 5-point Maverick lead. Doncic with it. He's picked up by Morant. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Luka Doncic can pass it, shoot it, drive it, and he does it all with great flair.
This is his first free throw of the game.
As we've gotten closer to halftime, their style has become more and more physical.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Maxi Kleber, he's checked in for Marjanovic. DeLon Wright comes in for Courtney Lee. And it's Jalen Brunson in for J.J. Barea. Shot is good, and the Mavericks lead is cut down now to just 5 on the bucket from Morant.
The delicate touch on display there. Gotta love when Morant lets that floater fly off his fingertips. Beautiful.
Here's Kleber, Porzingis, and he uses the glass on the layup. Porzingis has got 8 points.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Now here's Morant, guarded by Doncic, and it's Morant missing.
Boy, against so little defensive pressure, you have to convert that.
And the dunk by Porzingis.
How about the height and the length and the athleticism of Kristaps Porzingis? Barely has to jump to throw that down.
Here's Morant. It's tipped. Wright with it. Here's Brunson. And that one released in time, but no good. A big-time effort for Porzingis, providing a lot of energy for Dallas.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to the first quarter for the Mavericks was fairly even. At the end of the period, they held a 3-point lead. In the second quarter, they made it look easy. Thanks for joining us, folks. We're now just a few minutes away.
And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. We're halfway through the game. Porzingis having a dominant impact in this game.
In those first 2 quarters, he was pretty much an automatic bucket getter if he got it down low on the block.
Well, you can see why they would continue to play through him. He was tough to stop, super assertive down low. Just great work.
Doncic and Porzingis, the incredible forward pair. Jalen Brunson out there with Hardaway. And it's Marjanovic in at center. That's the lineup out there for the Mavericks. The Grizzlies trail by 11. And here's Morant. Lays it up off the glass. Morant's got his 3rd basket of the night right there. A lot of switching on every possession in the NBA from a defensive standpoint, and you see the way Doris offenses are adjusting to that.
Yeah, I think number one, you have to attack the switch. That's first and foremost. And it's an interesting balance between attacking and being patient. Because the one thing you're ultimately seeking in every switch is a favorable matchup for yourself. That's where a critical, thinking guard who knows where to find and put the ball is so critical to your success.
Well, that's a good way to look at it. Brunson, no good.
And his defense, so valuable. Not many can bother that shot at the rim.
Boy, you see the effort. You see the range. This guy prides himself in his ability to shut you down. One of the things you have to admire about Andre Iguodala is his ability to fit in any part of the lineup. Whether he's starting, whether he's coming off the bench, the ability to fill in from any position 1 through 4. Absolutely incredible.
Catching up on the changes for Memphis. Lab comes in for Jaren Jackson. And Grayson Allen subbed in for Dylan Brooks.
His shooting has been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
Down low, Porzingis with the steal. Brunson kicks to Marjanovic. Dallas moving the ball around. And Doncic, here we go. Good on the bucket. Doncic has got the lead up to 11 now for Dallas. And with Iguodala, he has the experience to guard and match up against Dort any position.
And what you've seen lately is Iguodala being deployed more and more as an undersized power forward. But even then, one moment he'll act as a 4, and the next minute he's the de facto point guard. What a luxury to have that kind of versatility.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Here's Morant. And another miss by Memphis.
I'll tell you, this guy is doing absolutely everything he can to get himself going, but the team is struggling because he's struggling.
And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
We know this about the Dallas Mavericks. They will put every piece of data and information to use in terms of trying to get an advantage. Think about it, guys. They are now doing blood tests, trying to head off injury for their players. They believe this gives them a clearer picture into the overall health of their athletes.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. Dwight Powell's checked in for Marjanovic. Dorian Finney-Smith comes in for Doncic. Ryan Brokoff's checked in for Tim Hardaway Jr. And Curry subbed in for Jalen Brunson.
Sometimes you just have an off day, and this is one of those games for him.
And Doris, those blood tests you were talking about, always subject to player permission.
Time out.
They want to honor player privacy.
I think you have to, Kevin, and most of the Mavs have embraced it. These tests have the ability to measure almost 50 biomarkers. As an athlete, you're always trying to stay in peak form. As an organization, you're always trying to manage appropriately their workloads.
J.J. Barea is checked in for Dallas. Pass to Morant. Shot to stop the run. They get it back. It's good on the putback.
Well, if you use your strength and your power and a little bit of relentlessness, as John Mahimi does, he cleans up.
And out of bounds as the Grizzlies gain possession.
All right, a chance here to check out the stats for Morant.
He's really producing here second half of the season. 5th in assists, and he's a defensive ball hawk. You can't let your guard down. Remember, he's 10th in the league in steals per game.
And as you said, dropping dimes at a top 5 pace. He's in total command of his team. They look to him for leadership, and he does not disappoint. And here are the Mavericks now. They've outscored him 10 points to 2 during this run. Curry's shot is off.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
Right, he stays connected, and great timing on the contest.
Here's Mahimi. Banked in off the glass. Mahimi's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Obviously, the closer to the basket, the better for Mahimi. He's all about high percentage finishes.
Powell finds Barea. And here is Powell, guarded by Jackson. It's tipped, and it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Jackson. And how about we check out the group of rookies with the best percentages from the charity stripe this season. 4th, John Morant.
And really, he needs to continue getting to the free throw line as much as possible because he's...
Doris, what about that dunk?
That was special. My goodness.
Yeah, that's fire right there. Morant practicing for the dunk contest. I see you, young fella.
Back to Barea. Grizzlies with the rebound. Jackson's got rebound number 5 here tonight. It's Morant in the corner. Shoots over Barea, and it's Morant missing.
Right now trying to get into a rhythm, but so far this quarter, boy, he is struggling to make anything go down.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
And that's typical of this guy. He's always reading the situation, reacting quickly, and capitalizing.
Dallas leading by 11. Here's Finney-Smith. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. Finney-Smith's got 6 points. The Grizzlies have gotten 6 of their 12 shots to drop for him here in the second half so far. Now here's Morant. 12 points for him. On the wing, Jackson. That 3 off the mark. A big-time effort for Porzingis, providing a lot of energy for Dallas. Between his points and his rebounds, he was a star for him in that quarter. Right back after this break. And it's time now to bring you our State Farm assist of the game.
And he's always been the favorite to bag this honor. These kind of feeds are his bread and butter.
Well, this is why, Greg, great point guard play is so critical in today's NBA, and you see it right there on display.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. On the court for Memphis to start the fourth, Jackson and Valanciunas, they're in the middle. Morant and Brooks manning the backcourt. And it's Jackson in at the small forward position. Here's Porzingis, and the dunk by Porzingis.
Well, Porzingis stays aggressive on the offensive end, and with the kind of offensive arsenal he has, it's exactly what you hope for, guys.
Morant passes to Valanciunas. Over to the wing, from deep. That's it, and the Dallas lead is cut down now to just 10 points with that basket from Morant.
This guy can do so much for you on the offensive end, and that is why his number gets called time and time again.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it. One
thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over, so you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
Here's Jackson. It's Morant in the corner. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Morant's got it back down to within single digits for the Grizzlies. Dallas calls timeout. And during this timeout, I'm sure they'll be hydrating themselves with Gatorade. All the effort out there on the floor. And these timeouts can be such a huge factor in getting a short rest and recharging the battery. Tim Hardaway Jr.'s checked in for Lee. The Grizzlies also making a change. Andre Iguodala is checked in for Jackson. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, during that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear Rick Carlisle's message to his team. His key message was, don't get comfortable. Those guys are going to come at us with everything they've got. Let's bring the intensity and stay focused on every possession. Kevin, back to you.
Iguodala gets the bucket.
And the D has gotten a little bit laxed here defending the triple.
Out to Hardaway. Here's Porzingis. Drains it from 9 feet away. Porzingis has got 6 in the quarter. Second minute off the clock now in the fourth. Now Morant to the inside. It's blocked. And Doncic, here we go, and it's in there.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
The Grizzlies trail by 12. Morant dishes to Valanciunas. Kleber with the rebound.
Great rim protection to prevent him from converting. Beautiful.
And the dunk by Doncic.
If he sees a lane to the rim, Doncic will capitalize. Nice drive.
For Memphis, they've gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Pass to Valanciunas. Nice move, and it's good on the layup.
Well, everyone's seeking those high percentage looks in the restricted area. Nicely done there.
Here's Porzingis. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Porzingis has got 18 points now here in the second half.
You know, Kev, I think you can see the strength that Porzingis has been developing over the early part of his career. That progress is showing up on a nightly basis.
Timeout called, the Grizzlies.
And the lack of rim protection, top of the list.
And the question they're going to have to answer to me is it a problem with the scheme or is it a problem with matchups?
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Marjanovic comes in for Maxi Kleber, and it's Jalen Brunson in for DeLon Wright. Here's Valanciunas. The rebound by Marjanovic. And it's Porzingis with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Mavericks. 17 points was their biggest margin.
What I like here, even with the big lead, they continue to execute their offense.
And that, to me, Greg, is a sign of excellent coaching. There's an attention to detail. There is valuing of every possession.
Unable to get that one. Now Memphis takes it the other way.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for the Mavericks.
In the end, they had a better shooting percentage, and that's what made the difference. Sometimes, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching many lucky breaks themselves.
Yeah, and Kevin, not all about luck. I thought their overall shot selection was better.
And reaching an impressive milestone on the year, this will be win number 60. And guys, they have played so well this season. I think pretty much any given night, they've come in with that swagger and attitude, and they've really backed it up.
And this will be their third win in 3 tries against these guys. They match up so well.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Porzingis.
Boy, I thought his best work was his pursuit of the basketball. He competed for every rebound, fought for position in the paint, and never stopped working. I love it.
Here's the teardrop. Brooks misses.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And what you love about his work defensively, the ability to challenge and change shots without fouling.
Morant kicks to Brooks. Hits the three-point bomb.
Heavy incoming from beyond the arc, a key part of their initiative this entire fourth quarter.
It feels like they have worked their perimeter game to perfection, swinging the ball, cashing in from the outside. What a performance.
So we see the Mavericks taking the win here. Some good moments throughout this one, but they have the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah, I love the way they executed on both ends of the floor, completely under control for the vast majority of the game.
Pretend. Look, everybody start